Since we are in September, this is the perfect time to start your beets and bok choy. Now, when it comes to bok choy, this is my first time growing them, but they are beginner friendly and they are fast growers. They can be harvested in as little as 30 to 45 days. The other thing that I like about bok choy is that they are container friendly. They need only about 6 to 8 inches of soil. So they're perfect to grow on your balcony or your patio. They are a cut and come plant, so you can harvest as they start growing. You can harvest the outer leaves and then allow the plant to continue growing. I will be succession planting them. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be direct sowing some in the garden. And then in a few weeks, I'm going to be starting some indoors. That way, by the time the ones outside are ready to be harvested, I'll have seedlings that are ready to be transplanted into the garden. Now with beets, it is also my first time growing beets. The reason why I'm excited about growing some beets is because you get two for the price of one. You can harvest the leaves and you can also harvest the actual roots. They are both edible and nutrient rich. Beets are also perfect for container gardening because they don't need a lot of space. So the variety that I'm growing, it is a taller variety and the depth of container has to be at least 10, I would say between 10 to 12 inches for them to grow properly. Just like bok choy, they are cool tolerant, so you can plant them in spring or fall and just make sure that the soil that you plant them in, make sure that it's loose, because if the soil is too compact or dense, then the roots are going to stay small. I am going to be adding a little bit of compost in my soil, but what I find out is if you add too much compost, it does make the soil get hard and dense. So you want to be careful with adding the compost. I'll add a little bit just to add some nutrient back to the soil. All right, so I hope you guys can see what I'm doing. I'm in the middle of the garden because I'm running out of space. This is what happens when you get into gardening, y'all. You just want to plant everything, and I don't know, I guess my eyes are bigger than the amount of space that I have. So this is the container or the grow bag that I'm going to be sowing them in. And I had potatoes growing in here previously. So we're going to be using this soil because I like it. It's very fluffy. This is a perfect condition for beets and bok choy. Bok choy likes soil that is rich and moist, and then beets, they need soil that is loose, like this one, and also deep for root development. So this is a deep or tall grow bag, and we're going to amend it a little. So I'm going to refresh the soil by adding a little bit of compost. I'm going to be adding some bone meal, a balanced fertilizer, and a handful of worm casting just to kind of refresh the soil before we plant our seeds. All right, so for the compost, I'm going to layer maybe 2 to 3 inches of compost. I am going to be mixing it in the soil because I don't want it just sitting on top of the soil. There you go. Just kind of layered it. Just a little bit. You don't want too much because the thing with compost is that it does make the soil dense. And you don't want that for bok choy or for the beets. So we don't want to add too much compost. Okay. Now I want to add a few tablespoons of all-purpose fertilizer. I'm using the Dr. Earth 444. This is a very good fertilizer for your plants, y'all. I'm going to be linking it in the description. So this is the one that I use. And we just want to add a couple tablespoons of the all-purpose fertilizer. I also made some eggshell powder, and I'm going to be adding some of that as well. Just a tablespoon. Okay, and then I'm also going to be adding a little bit of bone meal. This is very good for root vegetables. So we'll add a little bit of that. Just 1 tablespoon. It is slow releasing. And then I want to add a little bit of earthworm casting. Okay, so now we're just going to mix everything in the soil. Just give it a good mix. Okay, so what I want to do right now is plant the seeds. Now, the type of beets that I'm going to be planting is the tall top early wonder. So this is going to be my first time. They are big beets. I'm only going to be adding one in this container. So we're going to do like a triangle layout. We're going to add 2 bok choy in the front and then the beets towards the back. Okay, now the bok choy, the variety that I have is the pak choy Canton white stem. I don't even know, y'all. But this is the variety that I have. And the bok choy has to be 6 to 8 inches apart. So we'll put them on both sides of the container, one on the left and the other one on the right. And then we'll put the beets towards the back. I am going to be watering the soil first before I direct sow the seeds. I find that to be like the easiest method to direct sow. You don't want to plant the seeds first and then water, because when you do that, it does scatter the seeds around. So I'm going to give this a little bit of watering just to keep the soil in place, and then we will direct sow our seeds. As far as watering, y'all, you want to keep the soil evenly moist because both crops dislike drying out, especially bok choy. So make sure that the soil is consistently moist. Do not let it dry out. All right, so now that we've given the soil a good water, let's go ahead and poke our holes. So we're going to put the beet over here. Well, you know what? Let's put it towards the center. And then the bok choy can be over here. I think I'm just going to sow 2 seeds inside of the hole. And then if they germinate, we'll go ahead and thin them. And this is how the bok choy seeds look. Hope you guys can see it. And we're going to sow. You can always thin them later on. Okay, we are all set. If you get stuck and you don't know what to be planting every single month like I used to, I have a planner that's on my website. I will also be linking it in the description, but it tells you what you can start indoors, what you can direct sow every single month based on your zone. That way it takes all the guesswork out. This planner is perfect if you are new to gardening and you need some guidance on what to plant each month. It's also perfect if you have a small space and you want to maximize your garden space. It is perfect because the end goal is to grow more food, and the planner will help you do that. So the link is in the description. Check it out. So there you have it. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was informative. If you did, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. Don't forget to check out my previous video, and I will see you all in the next one.